Hi everyone, welcome to your August Alchemy Scopes. It's been intense lately. We just had the new moon, and we also simultaneously are going through a Venus-Saturn square and Mercury conjunct Mars opposed Pluto. So there could be quite a bit of... Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Good. We could have quite a bit of anger coming up, quite a bit of irritability coming up, a lot of deep issues arising, causing responses and actions, thoughts of kind of aggression. So hang in there and really stand back when those come up and really look at the bigger picture, because know that this is the cycle that we're in. And with the Venus-Saturn square, it's very intense because there's a necessity, there's such an obligation to mature our values, what we love and what we do, to put detail into that which we love and that which we do. It's quite intense. So you might be feeling some limits imposing upon you recently. But it is a new moon. It's a new moon in Cancer. It occurred at 23 degrees Cancer. And the Sabian symbol, the symbology that's imbued within this new moon, that's flavoring this entire next cycle, is a woman and two men castaways on a small island in the South Seas. And it's an interesting symbol. Kaipacha was referring to Dane Rudyard and his assessment of the two men and the woman in this scenario. And it refers to kind of the three aspects of self, which is what Dane Rudyard referred to, which was the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. And so the mental was male, the emotional was female, and the spiritual was male. I can't say whether or not I agree with that assessment, but in this particular assessment, it's interesting because the symbol is on an island in the South Seas. And there's something about being on an island that's a bit of isolation, a feeling of isolation and limit. I'm going to move this. Again, my arm's getting tired here. So, excuse me. So there's a sense of isolation, of all those aspects of self, of the mental, of the emotional, of the spiritual, feeling isolated now. There could be that. And also it's the South Seas, and the South typically refers to below and underneath. It could refer to the underworld and going into the depths of self. So it could be thematically for you that this month, this cycle is just diving deeper, especially with these astrological aspects that are taking place. So let's dive into the scopes for the individual signs. A reminder that these are evolutionary scopes, meaning that these are about your soul's evolution. Since I began The Alchemist Awakens, this channel is devoted to your awakening and your soul's evolution, your maturity, your stepping into your power. It is about you diving deep into your essence, self, your soul print, and fully expressing your infinite power. And we have a long way to go. I mean, the majority of humanity has a very long way to go. Most of them aren't very awake yet. So anyway, so when you look at these scopes, know that the 6 points, which is the Sabian symbol, which we just talked about, so the symbology that's imbuing the story in this cycle. And then when we look at the I Ching for the particular sign's microcycle, the micro theme, and then we look at the spread, which pulls up the particular story that's unfolding for your soul's growth. And then we look at the Ascended Master for guidance, the Archetype, which are the qualities that are asking to be matured in you, and then of course the Dakini, which is evoking within you the embodiment. So what embodiment would optimally serve you to handle, to flow with this particular cycle for you. So this is a holistic scope. I hope you enjoy it. So let's move on to those. Hello, dear Capricorn and dear Aquarius. So I am recording this I Ching microcycle for both of you this month because you both received the same hexagram. You both received number 13, Fellowship. And the two trigrams that make up this particular hexagram are Sky above, Fire below. And the meaning is this: when communal bonds unite a group of people, great success is possible. But such bonds can develop only when personal interests are subjugated to goals that carry in them the essential virtues of humanity. The broader the basis for action, the greater is the good that can be achieved. And the greater the potential for good, the more powerful is the support behind it. A spirit of cooperation steadies the boat, but it helps to have a beautiful island to row toward. Learn to respect the strength in diversity, for a community's true power lies in the diverse skills and collective resources of its members. Just as the stoutest walls are reinforced with the many different materials, so the strongest groups allow differences to coexist inside the whole. With a unified group solidly behind you, even very difficult enterprises can be attempted without great risk. Capricorn, welcome to your spreads and cards. So this month I am back to using my custom series deck that I use for myself. It's one that I've made for myself, 144 cards. And this month we're going to also pull 4 tarot cards. I'm using Dame Darcy's fabulous tarot deck. And I pulled 4, so 1 per week. So the series deck will pull up the thematic story that's unfolding for your growth, your evolution this month, what's happening. And then the weeks will pull up kind of the micro themes, the specifics for the month. And then we'll pull the Ascended Master and the Carolyn Miss Archetype to what qualities want to be evolved in you this month. And we have our Cancer card here. This is from the Lady Morgane Moon Oracle card deck. And we are here on our Cancer New Moon. I'm filming your scope on the Cancer New Moon. And she's here to witness and presence our divination session. Okay? So let me read a couple things from the book. Of course, she imbues all the qualities of Cancer. But just to remind you, so this Cancer New Moon is themed with these energies, which are withdrawal into self, growth and development, safety and security, protection, nurturing, healing, feelings and sensitivity, the need to let go of the past, moving forward, flow, learning from and integrating the past, strength and virtue. Beautiful. So let's go ahead. I've already shuffled the series deck. Let's see what theme is coming up for you. Okay, so you have a relatively simple spread here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so the theme for you is going to be whether or not to proceed with something. Oh, wait, sorry. There's another one, another card here. So the theme for you is going to be whether or not to proceed with a situation. You're going to feel negative. There's going to be some negativity come up. It's interesting, too, because it has to do with love. There's a potential for love, At least, well, it could be temporary love, or your feelings are that it's temporary love. So the truth about whether or not to proceed with a potential temporary love situation is going to be coming up for you. You might feel that it's going to be temporary, but you're not going to be sure about it. You're going to feel maybe hesitant. Or this is saying, you know, negativity, but that's kind of counterbalanced with a sense of hope. So mentally, you're going to be in a space of hopefulness with this situation of whether or not to proceed. So you're going back and forth around hope and not sure. You know, maybe it's not right. Maybe it's not the right thing. So let's pull up the tarot, because that's going to pull up more specifics here. But yeah, you're going to be contemplating, do I proceed? Do I not proceed? Is this temporary? Is this not temporary? What's the truth? That's what's going on. So in week 1, okay, well, in week 1, the Knight of Cups emerges. And keep in mind, week 1 is happening right after this Cancer new moon, which is happening today on the 15th of July. So the Knight, this is Dame Darcy's deck, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. So the Knight of Cups is, you know, this is kind of the knight on the white horse in a way. He's, you know, he's emotionally sensitive, he's tuned in, he's romantic, he's loving. You know, this is somebody who could definitely be a love interest. And of course, this is a general reading, Capricorn, so this doesn't have to necessarily be a male. It could be a female as well. But there is a new person that emerges on the scene, potentially for some of you out there, perhaps for most of you out there. A new person emerges on the scene in week 1. And in week 2, we have the Lovers. So the Lovers comes up in week 2. Now, the Lovers, keep in mind, the original meaning for the Lovers was choice. It's about right action. It's making a choice, which way to go, which is the way of right action. Now, of course, the Lovers, you know, in other senses, is about connecting with another. This is the major arcana of the Lovers that speaks to great love, you know, meeting another and having great connection. And that is being the right action choice. So, especially coming up here, it seems very likely this is definitely love. But it's also choice, isn't it? Like if we look at your spread, you are going to be, the theme will be whether or not to proceed very clearly. You know, what is truth? What is truth about this person? You know, do I want to proceed with a love relationship with this person? Is it just temporary? So let's take a look at week 3. So so week 3 is Ace of Swords reversed. Ace of Swords upright is about clarity. Ace of Swords reversed is about not being sure. So there is going to be a situation in the 3rd week. So perhaps you meet this person shows up in week 1. Week 2, there's an offering perhaps of love, or feelings start to emerge about love. And then in week 3, when you got it reversed, there's going to be a lack of clarity that comes up. Very interesting. I mean, this is completely, utterly tuned into the spread. And then Capricorn, in week 4, you get Queen of Swords reversed. And Queen of Swords upright is about clarity. It's about a powerful woman who is clear about what she wants. She's intellectual and she knows what she wants. And she states that with clarity and discernment. Reversed, it's about the harshness of the swords. It's it can be cutting, and it can be too honest, too harsh, literally cutting. Yeah, so whether this is you, which I think it might be, and again, this is a general reading, so the Queen of Swords is not necessarily a female watching this spread, watching this reading. This could easily be a male as well. Again, it's a general spread, but this is about, in the fourth week, there's something that emerges, maybe because of the uncertainty that's coming up, that creates a state of mental cutting and maybe words that are a bit harsh. And it could be with another person as well, by the way. So it could be that, but it's certainly what I see is that here's one person, here's another person. Yeah. And you're an earth sign. So, you know, it would depend. If you're watching and you have an air sign, moon, or ascendant, then this is most likely you. If not, it could be those qualities that are coming up in you. And if not, it could be another person that shows up on the scene. Or it could be a third party that shows up. That doesn't come up here. What I'm really getting is that it's between you and this other person, and you're really in a state of decision making. You're really getting clear on what you want. But the lack of clarity does come up in week 3, and it creates a bit of harshness in the mind and maybe harshness of words that come out at week 4. But again, this is not fixed. Life is not fixed and fated. This is about the themes of energies that are playing out. So when we can look at the theme and when we can look at what's playing out, we can make decisions wisely. We could be mindful to what's going on, and we can make a different choice. That's the thing about divination. We get to see so that we can be made aware and make a choice differently. So let's take a look. What master? So this is interesting. So Ganesh, yes, is coming up for you. And Ganesh, yes, is essentially giving you an answer. Now, I'll just give you a bit of caution that indeed this could be pointing to your wondering about whether or not to proceed. Could be saying, yes, you definitely want to consider proceeding. However, you still want to use your discernment, yeah? But the thing is, there's a sense of truth that's at play, and you assessing it. You're assessing the negativity at play. But Ganesh here is actually saying you want to maybe open your eyes and really pay attention, because this could be something good. Yeah? So this could be, I mean, it's actually quite beautiful to get Ganesh for this, because if it is indeed this wondering whether or not to persevere, and you're getting the Lovers, which is also choice, and then you're getting Ganesh, yes, it's pretty fascinating. I mean, essentially it's giving you your answer. However, you know best. You are in control of your life. You are an empowered, very empowered, infinitely powerful co-creator. And you need to make your own choice, because you're all different individuals out there, and these are all going to be different people for each one of you. And only you can decide if this person is of positive, resonant influence for your particular soul path at this time. So, but Ganesh is an interesting one. It's also seeing the positive. So it's about kind of being in that hopeful state, but not with naivete. You want to be mindful and connected and wise. But it's a beautiful card to get. So let's take a look. This is Carolyn Mrs. Archetype deck. And let's take a look and see what archetypal qualities are wanting to be evolved through you this month. The Fool. You know, this is very interesting. You are getting indications to go for it. You're getting indications to maybe not be so negative. Capricorns can, you know, have the tendency, you guys are earthbound and you're very structure oriented and you can be very proof oriented. You know, you're Saturn ruled, so there's a lot of limits that you place on yourselves, and you like form, you like manifestation. And what could be happening here is that you're being asked to be positive and take risks. So let me read the Fool. So the shadow attributes are using humor to wound rather than to liberate, denial of your own emotional truth, the higher, what wants to be evolved, the higher frequency manifestation, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Now, I will say, when this is great, and I agree with it, but if we also think about the Fool in the tarot, that is about potentiality. It's about taking risks with mindfulness, but it is about being like a child and being in wonder and awe and going for new opportunities that present themselves with, just again, with wisdom, with grounding, with discernment, but being in a state of adventure and be willing, see the potentiality in the situation. So this is very, very interesting. There is a sense of negativity that is going to be your growth edge this month. And you're going to have to really get to a place of depth to determine, is this the right move for me? It does indicate, yes, it does indicate take a risk. It does indicate fearlessly revealing emotion, specifically here in this card, which wants to be evolved within you this month. So it's beautiful. So let's take a look and see what your Dakini has for you this month. Hi Capricorn, welcome to your Dakini Goddess that came forward for you for this particular cycle. This month you received number 44, Lady Rainbow. And a reminder that the Dakini that comes up is reflecting the embodiment that's requesting for you to take on this month in order to flow through this particular monthly cycle with least effort. I'm going to read here from Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle, and it's extensive, so I'm only reading a portion. If you would like to dive deeper, the link to the library, the online library, is below this video. She is the lunar effect on the waters of the planet and the earth itself. Her fire is her power of lightning. In Mayan cosmology, Lady Rainbow is a moon goddess connected to earth and water. She is a weaver of worlds and is associated with pregnancy and childbirth. She is a healing goddess and keeper of medicines. She pours water for the crops from her sacred womb jar. If angered, she can also bring floods. Lady Rainbow is a weaver goddess, and she is here to help you weave the fabric of your existence in a more meaningful way. She is here to ask you to reset your view of time. She is here to ask you to re-examine the very principles and structures that govern your life, both the ones imposed by society and the ones you set up for yourself. Time for a reboot of your mainframe, the framework handed down to us by our culture, family, society. A gift of healing energy, the right remedy at the right time. Take your medicine pouch. If you are involved in the art of healing, Lady Rainbow says her appearance in your life is a confirmation of that calling. You are a healer. As she is also a midwife, she wants you to know that what you are pregnant with, and what you are pregnant with maybe for a very long time now, it might be time to give birth to it. Is it in her capacity as a midwife that you have called her in? Perhaps it's time to give birth to a new you. Perhaps the whole system is rebirthing. Capricorn, I think that's a good place to leave this. This is a powerful Dakini. So that gives you a good chunk of what she's about. But if you would like to dive deeper, the link to the online library is below this video.